What's good, everybody? You already know it's the Kid Face, and welcome to my new podcast, Face the Nation. In this podcast, I'm gonna be breaking down the game, the music industry, the industry, and life industry. I'm gonna break all of that down to you. But first, let me tell you where I'm from. I started out in Brooklyn, East New York. I graduated from Pacific High School right after I got kicked out of Franklin K. Lane High School. Shout out to Franklin K. Lane for kicking me out. They called me a gang leader. Can you picture that? Me, a gang leader? Anyway, throughout the journey, I always been involved in the music industry in some type of way. Started out rapping, you know what I'm saying, as a kid. My pops was a manager. I had a group, or I was with a group. Let me not say I had a group, I was with a group. We hit the TVs, we was in studio. We started out with gospel, but I always had a nasty mouth, so I eventually found my own path, you know what I'm saying? From that part, I stopped doing music and then ended up leaving home to go to the military. And once I went to the military and got a taste of the world, it started adding on to who Face really is. I started learning things aren't everything that it seems and appears to be. And I started learning that you ain't gotta be so mean because you from New York. But anyway, I done been all around the world, man. I done met plenty people, ate different foods, you know what I mean? I started growing up, started learning more and more about life. And eventually it led me back to the music. So here we are today. During my musical journey, I would say it started in Virginia as an adult. Started in Virginia. I wanted to have a record label. I kind of already knew what to do, so I kind of just jumped off the porch with it, and it got real big in Virginia. Shout out to Virginia, Hampton, Newport News, Seven Cities. Shout out to y'all. You know, y'all are a big part of who Faseworld is today, so I will never take that away. I learned a lot of stuff in Virginia. Eventually, I found my way to Georgia, and eventually I opened up a studio called Dreamhouse Studios. And speaking of Dreamhouse Studios, it's located in Stockbridge, Georgia. 6043 North Henry Boulevard, Dreamhouse Studios. It's a multimedia studio. We do television, we have a club set, we got music, some of the best producers in here, some of the best engineers come out of here. Many celebrities has been here, and you know what they told me? No one will come to Stockbridge. So I say that to say, I'm not just a dream chaser. I make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You cannot go off of public opinion. And you need to know these words and understand these words that's coming out of my mouth right now, because that's what the music industry is about. It's about you understanding who you are and not what people say you are. Dreamhouse Studios, Stockbridge, Georgia, multimedia. We done had this studio for 8 good years. So that's progress. I have multiple awards that I've won way before I got to Georgia, and I have some when I got to Georgia. So I'm not just somebody that's out here telling you something and I'm not living a life. This is my life. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but if it wasn't for music, I wouldn't be here right now. So let's get to it. All right. So here we are, first topic. And I don't want any steps. I don't want any steps skipped, y'all. Okay? So we're gonna do this thing from the bottom to the top. So our first topic is, how do I start as an artist? So you see the videos, you know what I mean? You see the jewelry, you see the girls, you see the cars, you see the housing, you see all of this stuff. And you gotta keep in mind, people, when a company wanna sell something to you, they have to make it look good. Like even in McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? When you watching the McDonald's commercial, the Big Mac and all them sandwiches look so perfect, and they're not always real. It just sells. It sells. It looks extra good, extra tasty. That's what an artist gotta do. So when you see like an artist wearing someone else's jewelry or taking a picture in front of a car or acting like it's, a house that, they just brought, you can't really necessarily look at it as cap. Because the whole business situation is cap anyway. Advertisement is cap. It's something it's something that makes something seem appealing, more appealing to the eye. So you can't knock an artist for capping. So the first thing I want you to do as an artist is learn your passion. What is it about this industry that you can do in your sleep? What is it about this industry that you would do for free? What is it about this industry that you love, you think about, you always want to make better, you always want to, it's just your thing. It's your thing. Because if you don't have passion, you need to stop now, because it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of heartache. It's going to be a lot of down days. It's going to be up days. It's going to be in days. It's going to be out days. And the only thing to fuel you is passion. So you need passion. If you have no passion for this, don't do it. Practice consistency. Now you say, Face, what is consistency? Consistency could be as simple as social media. Do you post every day, once a day, twice a day? Can people tell that you're hungry when they look at you, or do they feel like, oh, he made it? Because as soon as they feel like that, it's kind of hard to kind of accept you. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want people to understand the story. This is business, right? This is the music what? Business. You're an artist, so you're a part of the music business. So conduct it like a business. So in this business, you need passion, you need consistency. If you go to a restaurant and it tastes good today, but it doesn't taste good tomorrow, do you want to keep going to this restaurant and being let down? Or do you want to go to the restaurant that every time you go, they never miss? Come on, I don't need you to answer that. I already know the answer to that. So you need consistency. Consistent posts on social media. Consistent music dropping. Consistent photos. Even if it's old, what's old to you might be new to someone else. Well, definitely would be new to someone else. What am I saying? Consistency is the key. They need to know that you don't sleep. They need to know you don't stop. They need to know this is what you want, and you want it bad. So they either gonna get down or they're gonna get out the way. And that's what they need to know from you as an artist. That you will not waver because you're consistent and you got passion. Study the music game. Know what you're supposed to register for. Know BPMs. Know the sound you're looking for. Know what genre you are. Because you can't make a hip hop song and distribute your music as R&B. So I know it's simple, but I'm saying it anyway. So because everybody, common sense is not always that common, okay? So know the music game. Study it. Go to the club sometime. Listen to what the DJ's playing. Look at the people. Look at what's making them move. What's not making them move. Like, study this thing. You can't just hop in the airplane and fly. That's impossible. You have to study. You have to go to school. You have to learn. You have to practice. You have to do a lot of stuff. So stop thinking that you can just jump in the music game and everything is just going to open up for you overnight. That's not how this works. So study the game, study the management, study promotion, study marketing, study it all. Define your style. What's your style? Like, a lot of people want to be a part of record labels just to say I'm a part of a record label. But you can't be a hip hop artist in a country record label and then get mad at the country record label because you're not thriving as a hip hop artist. You can't be a hip hop artist that's more on the rock side and you want to go to a trap label because the trap label want to push trap. And even though they might try to push you into their circle, you might notice it's not working for you. So find a group of people, find companies or labels or whatever that fit you and your thing. Because you can find a whole rock rapper label and you fit right in. And y'all already have the niche, y'all already making the moves in that, you already have that following. So that's less work for you, less heartache as well. You gotta have your thing. I say it's your thing. Like, my thing is, you might say it's my hair. Like, it's noticeable. Like, you'll see it, and you'll know, oh, damn, that's Face. Before, when I started, I used to wear batter gloves all the time. That's how they knew me. Oh, he wears the batter gloves all the time, everywhere he goes. Even if it's hot outside, I had to have them gloves on, because that was my thing. If I didn't wear those gloves, they were like, yo, where your gloves at? I'd be like, oh, man, you know about the gloves? Damn, I gotta put the gloves on. You can't, once you go into your thing, you can't come out of your thing. So, you find your thing and you keep it. Even if you're walking around with a lollipop in your back of your ear every time. Like, that's your thing. Left eye had the condom over the eye. That was her thing, you know what I'm saying? Different people got different things, you know what I'm saying? Famous Dex, he had the head with the red, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing. You find your thing, and you stick to your thing. And everything doesn't have to be extreme, but be consistent. That's the word. Remember that word. Be consistent. Be consistent, because you don't want to confuse the audience. You want them to understand who you are, where you from, and what's your thing. People's attention span is very short. So if you got them jumping all over the place, you might find yourself losing them. So pay attention to that. Then you create the music. Now, when you're creating music, understand that after you record, it is not done. Once you record, there's a process that your music has to go through. I highly recommend you mix and master. And if you ever need a mix and master, you can always contact Dreamhouse Studios. Shameless plug. But real talk though, you have to do a mix and master because you want to put your best foot forward, because you don't know who's going to hear your music. You know what I'm saying? You're distributing music. The world really have access to it. You don't know. So you want the best sound out there as possible. Gain exposure. How do I gain exposure? Well, you a new artist, so there's plenty of open mics. Now, I admit, some areas, they don't have a lot of open mics. I'm not gonna lie. Some of y'all out there are gonna have to leave your city or your state and find like open mics in different places. And that's exactly what I said. You're gonna have to leave. If you're the type that don't wanna leave, create it. Create a group of people like yourself that's interested in the same thing. And you guys create a movement and do open mic and share your talents with each other, because still sharpens still. You feel me? So you start a movement and then y'all move together, you know what I'm saying? But it got to get started. You have to start getting exposure. You have to start putting your name out there. You have to get with these blogs. Let me tell you something. I cannot stop you. I cannot make this free for you. I cannot make it cheap for you. This is a very expensive dream. The most you could do is try to get the best prices you can get, but I cannot tell you that everybody's just gonna put you on a pedestal and fly you out and you're gonna get all the return. That's not how this works. What you put in is what you get out. So you're gonna have to invest. So some people are gonna, you might wanna hop in and talk to a PR. A PR usually has a schedule where they're around celebrities, or they know the latest events or the events that you need to be at. Get with a PR. Some of y'all have managers. Y'all start off with managers. That's cool. Sounds real cute. But if you ain't got nothing to manage, what's the reason of having a manager? So you have to really look at this thing like, you know what I'm saying? Look at this thing like a business, man. And matter of fact, this is not even in my list, but create your name. Make your name a LLC. Make your name a business, so that when it comes a time that you need funding or you need extra money, now your name is a LLC, and you can go to the bank and get a loan under your artist's name, which is a business. But the whole time, all of y'all sitting on money and didn't even know it. Yeah, that's a fact. So gain your exposure. You know what I'm saying? The best exposure is interviews. Do interviews. Do interviews with podcasters. Podcasting is popping. That shit has become a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So get as much podcast exposure. Tell people your story. Like, it's past the time of, hey, listen to my music. Nah, why am I listening to your music? Hey, I'm from the hood. So am I. My man got shot. So did mine. I sold drugs. So did I. Like, why am I interested in you? Like, be yourself. You cannot use everybody else's story. Create your own. That's what's gonna make you stand out. That's what's gonna make you stand out. Put out flyers on the street. It's not, everything is digital. I get it. But it's still not everything is digital. You know what I'm saying? A flyer is still just as effective as texting it to somebody. It's the physical is just as effective. Did you know that vinyl is still the top selling piece of music material out there? Vinyl? Did you know that? No, you didn't, because everything they talk about is streaming. The vinyl is still making millions of dollars. Do the research. If you don't believe me, do the research. And my last one for today, evolve as an artist. Now, when they say evolve as an artist, every artist should evolve. Yeah, you start off in the studio. You start off making songs. You start off doing open mics and shows. But nobody just wants an artist. If you're somebody that's looking to go to a label, some of you will have the luck to get in a label without barely doing anything. And some of you are gonna have the luck to get into a label with just off your pure talent. But a lot of y'all are gonna have to come with an empire. So if you know this, you evolve. You treat it like a business. You get your merch together. You got your license together. Eventually, you look into getting a studio, or you figure out how you can help other artists, like what I'm doing right now. You have to evolve. You cannot continue being an artist. You can't be no 10-year artist still acting like, you can't be a 10-year artist still trying to run that, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, help me. You can't be that after a while. You have to grow up in this game as well. You come in as a baby, no matter how old you are, you come into this game as a baby, you have to grow up in this game. You have to grow up and you have to be able to stand on your own. Even if you can't, you have to appear that way. Nobody said this shit was easy. But you have to evolve as an artist, because nobody doesn't. Who would you want to be around someone that doesn't evolve? Is that conducive to your future? Is that conducive to you? Your friends that's not evolving, do you want them around you, bringing you down? Are they really your friends? To watch you evolve and not want to evolve with you? And I mean, I get it. That's life. Sometimes it's like that. But sometimes you got to change up your circle. Like, look, man, I love you, man, but I'm looking at life this way now, and you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get over here. I'm trying to get to the top. And right now, what you got going on is like holding me back. So I gotta separate a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And go through these pains alone until God sends you the team that you need. So I'm not gonna talk your head off for this first episode, but this was the beginning, man. This is the stuff that, before deciding to become an artist, this is the stuff you need to know. The next episode, we're gonna get deeper into this and talk about the different things you should register for and what to do with your music after it's recorded and mixed and mastered. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna discuss all of that. And we're gonna talk about a lot more, man. And I thank everybody for tuning in to my first episode. I look forward to, really putting out a lot of information. And keep in mind at all times, anything that you need, anything that I talk about to you, we can provide here at Dreamhouse Studios. And it doesn't matter where you at in this world, we got you. So, you know what I'm saying? Face the nation, baby.